Good morning on this Saturday. Thank you so much for checking in with us right now as we look at a cloudy, rainy Midtown Atlanta. This is just a little preview of what's to come this weekend. It won't be the prettiest weekend weather-wise out there for everybody getting your Christmas shopping done or started, depending on where you stand right now. Hope your day's off to a great start. Either way, you're watching Atlanta News First Plus. Megan Packer here at the Atlanta News First Studios in Atlanta checking in with you. And we will check in with First Alert meteorologist Courtney Chikabazi here coming up in just a moment because we know that you are making those outdoor plans. You may be running out and about today trying to get that shopping done. There are so many different theater productions and holiday parties happening. And yes, it is rainy out there. If you have been outside, if you've looked out the window, you see that it is just gray and dreary. So we've got two first alerts in the forecast, and Courtney will tell us all about that coming up here in just a minute. But I do want to get you caught up on some of the news updates of the day, including this. We are tracking the very latest on a court appearance for the woman who is facing attempted arson charges. This is her picture here. And we know that she is expected to be in court in just a little bit, in less than 30 minutes now. This is 26-year-old Lanisha Henderson. She's got an 11:30 a.m. court appearance. Now, this is the woman who is accused of attempting to set fire to the historic Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. birth home in Atlanta. This is cell phone video that somebody captured of her. This is just a few nights ago. There were people nearby. Remarkably, they were NYPD officers who were here in the area visiting. They detained the woman. Someone that was here visiting from out of state as well took all of the cell phone video, and they were able to kind of bring officers up to speed once they got here. So no doubt you have seen this headline making headlines here the past few days. But what's new this morning is that 26-year-old Lanisha Henderson expected to go before a judge at 11:30 this morning. We will have a camera there, and we will let you know what comes out of that court appearance today. We also have an update to a story that we covered in Brookhaven last night. We told you that there was a man found shot on the on-ramp to 85 southbound, right at the North Druid Hills Road exit. Officers are specifically looking for information about what happened because they just told us this morning that the man died. He did not survive. So they were called out yesterday. It sounded like the original call might have been for somebody who was hit by a car. They got there, realized this person had been shot. So they want to hear from people who were in this area of Brookhaven, specifically between about 4:15 and 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Again, North Druid Hills Road, right off of Buford Highway before you get onto the on-ramp to get onto 85 southbound to head down toward Atlanta. If you're familiar with that area, you know just how busy it is. And that time of day, 4:30, a very busy time as people are out and about. So we will keep you updated as we learn more from Brookhaven police. They're not identifying the man yet. They are still working to notify his family. But we, of course, will learn more as we look for those updates from Brookhaven. In the city of Atlanta overnight, two 16-year-olds were shot. It actually happened last evening, really. The two 16-year-olds showed up to the hospital last night after they were shot. Police say it happened just after 6 p.m. at Elm Street and Joseph E. Boone Boulevard. Investigators are working this case now. Detectives with the aggravated assault unit trying to figure out what led up to that violence. But unfortunate headline there, two teenagers shot in the city of Atlanta. Okay, well, if your New Year's plans tend to involve going to the Peach Drop in downtown Atlanta, unfortunately, it is not happening this year. It's just not on the calendar for the city. It's not in the budget. The mayor's office says they just don't have it budgeted this year because the money was spent on other community events. They did send out a statement that said, in part, this year the city dedicated our resources to celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip hop and other local activities directly serving the community. So a lot of people will be having to go to Plan B as they try to figure out how they will ring in the new year. We heard from different businesses, people who work in that area near Underground Atlanta. Seems like it's mixed reaction. Some will certainly be missing out on the crowds and the activities that come with that. And other people say, hey, we're able to maybe keep our businesses open a little bit more and get some business that we otherwise would be missing out on if we had to close early for the crowds. U.S. Senator John Ossoff was able to secure about $10 million for mobile breast cancer screenings. According to the nonprofit group Disabled American Veterans, 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer, but women who served in the military are 20% to 40% more likely to get that kind of cancer. And this money will help women who typically avoid getting screened because of the difficulty to get to the VA. This will help them get those mammograms. So there is a mobile mammogram truck that will be able to go around the state. And again, that was $10 million secured by one of Georgia's senators, John Ossoff. And if you are a driver here in Georgia, I probably don't have to tell you this, but insurance rates are going up here in the state. They're up 22%, in part because of the number of accidents, car thefts, and expensive repairs. According to a study from MarketWatch, Georgians are paying an average of $30 more per month. That is more than $350 a year. In Georgia, there was a 35% increase in traffic fatalities per million miles traveled in the state. Georgia ranks 10th in the country for most car thefts. And according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, auto repairs and maintenance are up more than 20%. So we are feeling that indeed. All right, well, let's get back to talking about our forecast now that we have updated you on what's making news here. And we will take a look again at Midtown Atlanta, where the rain started early this morning and it's been pretty widespread. So we will check in now with First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. I'm Megan Packer. Thanks for joining us for Atlanta News First Plus. And keep it with us throughout the weekend. Our team will be here updating you not only on the news headlines happening, but of course this all-important forecast. And Courtney, as we look at Midtown again, you are tracking really tomorrow is that severe threat possibility, right?
Right, correct. So today we'll watch for just rain, and a lot of the rain is already pushed out, so you can see it's still looking really dreary out there, but it is thankfully drier than it was this morning. So we'll take you through the timing of whatever rain is going to be left today. We do still have a chance for showers today, but thankfully, if you have any plans today, you're trying to get some Christmas shopping done today, I think you'll have the opportunity to do that. And then, of course, we're going to take you through tomorrow as well, where we continue our first alert, not only because of heavy rain, but also the potential for storms, including the potential for maybe an isolated strong to severe storm as a cold front makes its way through. It's been a long time since we've had to worry about severe weather. And this time of year, that happens. We have our severe weather season in the spring, and then another as we head into winter. So here it is, starting to take its course, and we'll take you through everything so you can be prepared for it. Let's get you to this, what to expect. So weekend rain, we think it's going to have a high impact on your day. Again, we have a first alert today and tomorrow, and even into Monday. We'll explain that in just a second here. First, we're going to get through the weekend. So scattered rain today, but definitely not a washout. As you saw over in Midtown, the clouds are hanging really low. All that moisture from the really early morning rain now creating those low-hanging clouds. So it just looks dreary out there. And we'll be primarily dry through the rest of the day, about a 20 to 30% coverage as we make our way through the rest of the afternoon. And then tonight, rain will start to pick up ahead of overnight rain and storms Sunday with that potential for severe weather. Sunday evening, it's going to get really windy and the temperatures are going to drop very quickly. Tomorrow, we're actually going to hit our high temperature in the morning and temperatures will cool through the day. Here's a look at First Alert Radar right now, just for purposes of this being a live video. If you watch it later, this is just around 11:15 in the morning. A lot of rain pushing into Rockdale and Newton, Morgan County. It looks like Athens, so over in Clark County, Oconee County getting some rain. Up in the Toccoa, so up towards Habersham County, parts of Towns and Union County getting some rain as well. All the heavy rain south of the city. But notice, behind that little swath of rain, we're starting to dry out, and that will be a trend through the next several hours. We will continue to have drier conditions through the afternoon. Still going to be cloudy. It'll probably be a little damp, maybe even a little bit misty. We have wind surging in from the south right now, and what that's going to do is help pull in the moisture to create this dreary look out there that we are seeing this morning. Whoops, that was the wrong button. This is what I was looking for. There we go. So giving us this dreary morning, that southerly flow is pulling in a lot of moisture, but it's also pulling in heat. So to our south is a very warm body of water called the Gulf of Mexico. Even this time of year, it's still warm. And so that's what our air mass is under the influence of. And so that's going to promote the cloudy skies today, that kind of damp feeling, but also going to give us energy for severe storms as we head into the overnight hours. So a lot of times when we talk severe weather, we're talking about an afternoon and evening event because that's the heat of the day with a lot of fuel. Well, the difference between our spring severe weather and our winter severe weather is that this time of year, naturally it's colder, you're usually not talking high fuel events, you're talking high wind shear events. So wind shear is that change of wind direction and speed with height, and that's what we're going to experience. However, we are going to be warm enough and have enough moisture and fuel in the atmosphere from our southerly wind to promote the chance for isolated severe storms. This is the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center. In fact, we're going to get another within the next about 20 to 30 minutes, and I'll make sure to give an update on our First Alert weather app. If you don't have it, download it. It's going to be a great tool to have. Level 2 of 5 threat for far northwest Georgia. That does include parts of Floyd and Chattooga County, though. Most of us under that level 1 of 5 threat. So that's an extremely isolated threat. The timing primarily going to be between 1 and 7 p.m. However, 1 and 7 a.m., excuse me. However, we could have a couple of storms starting late tonight around 10, 11 o'clock. But I think our main window is going to be between around 1 and 7 a.m. as that front moves in. And the threat will start northwest and sink off to the southeast along our front. We'll be looking for gusty wind, heavy rain, and maybe a brief isolated tornado. The tornado threat is low, and I do think we'll primarily look in West Georgia for that threat, but we'll be keeping an eye on it. We'll have Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez in studio tonight for Cutter Martin, and so she'll be here all evening, and then I'll be in. We'll kind of hand off through the overnight hours, so we have you covered all night long. Let's take you through First Alert Futurecast here. So again, that first alert today for the rain, most of it's moving out now, and notice as we head towards 2 o'clock, we're going to have dry time. Temperatures, if you're north of the city, a little cooler, but a lot of us topping out near 70 today with the mostly cloudy skies, mainly dry through the afternoon. We'll keep about a 20 to 30% coverage between the hours of about 1 and 7, and then more rain rolls in. Notice down towards Griffin, Thomaston, so Lamar County, Upson County, Butts County, even parts of Fayette County. We'll watch for those little cells that are going to get caught up in our southerly flow there for maybe a rumble of thunder or two. Sometimes that just the dynamics of that can promote stronger storms, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. But again, our best bet for severe weather will be overnight, which again, just extra important that you are having a way to receive weather warnings, that you have a way to receive weather warnings rather. And our First Alert weather app is great for that. If you turn on the notifications in your settings, that will alert you if severe weather is happening in your area. And when you're asleep, it's just good to have something that will be able to keep you informed or wake you up through the overnight. Not that this is necessarily a significant severe weather threat. This isn't going to be a significant severe weather event, but it is still a threat for severe weather. So we just want to make sure that you are ready to rock and roll for that. So here's 1 o'clock. That front knocks on our door, and this front, as it moves in, especially in northwest Georgia, is definitely going to pack a punch. It's still going to have some pretty good steam on it from the fuel from the day that it had back out in Mississippi and Alabama. So by 1 a.m., places like Fannin County from LJ into Rome, places like, again, Floyd County into Carroll County, heavy rain, gusty wind, and any severe storms, we're talking wind gusts 60 miles per hour, and maybe a brief embedded tornado. As we head towards 4 a.m., this front becomes a little more broken and starts to move into downtown Atlanta, but still the threat for severe weather persists. At this point, I think we're shifting into more of a damaging wind threat. Still some heavy rain possible as well, with temperatures in the 60s. That's important to note tomorrow morning. And as we head towards 7, front sinks south, and then we are clear of severe weather by 7 o'clock. So by the time we are on Atlanta News First Sunday morning, tomorrow morning, the severe weather threat should be done, but the rain won't be done. We'll have some trailing light showers through a lot of your day, and temperatures will start to drop. Notice by noon, Rome's dropping into the 40s, Canton's dropping into the 50s, and then we continue to drop through the day with that chance for rain persisting through at least the early evening. Of course, drying conditions from northwest to southeast. So if you're north of the city, you'll dry out first. If you're south of the city, it'll take a little longer. Nonetheless, at this point tomorrow, it's going to be cold, it's going to be windy, it's going to be damp. We're talking wind gusts upwards of maybe 25 miles per hour tomorrow, so it's going to feel very winter-like tomorrow afternoon. Could potentially have a few flurries in the highest elevations of the mountains. That's not necessarily our main priority, but it's still possible. And notice by 7 o'clock, we're dropping to the 30s in some spots, and it's only going to get colder from there as we head into Monday, which is why we continue our first alert into Monday to give you a heads up how to prepare and plan for that start of the new work and school week. Here's a look at the rainfall totals. While it's not great to have the chance for severe weather, we are going to pick up some really beneficial rainfall from this Saturday and Sunday, anywhere between about 4/10 of an inch to maybe upwards of 3 inches of rain in some spots. So area wide will go a solid half an inch to an inch of rain, but locally heavy amounts are possible in some of those heavier downpours that have already been present this morning and will continue into tomorrow. I actually see a couple of people checking in. Good morning, Wesley. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Austin. Am I okay in a level 1 risk of a severe thunderstorm? Absolutely. Yeah, as long as you are prepared and you have a way to receive weather warnings and you can be informed on if there is severe weather in your area, absolutely you're okay. So, unfortunately we can't control Mother Nature. I wish we could. If we could, we would keep everyone completely clear and sunny and 75 all the time. But a level 1 risk is super isolated, so most of us will just experience your general run-of-the-mill thunderstorm activity. But if something becomes severe, just have a way to receive weather warnings, and the best thing to do is head into an interior room away from doors and windows, even if it's because of damaging wind, because, things can fly around and stuff in those kinds of wind gusts. So you'll just want to put yourself in the proper spot, and you'll be good to go. Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Hello. All right, so again, that's the rainfall totals we're looking at, which will be really beneficial. Our drought monitor from last week actually didn't budge at all, so this will hopefully put a little bit of a dent in that. Monday, going to be cold. We continue our first alert because we want to give you a heads up. Like, it's been mild the past couple of days. It is not going to be mild by Sunday afternoon, and even more so into Monday. Waking up in the low 30s, upper 20s in some of our suburbs. Highs only in the low or mid to upper 40s, near 50, with the wind that is going to be extremely blustery. We're talking wind gusts 25, maybe even upwards of 35 miles per hour. It's going to be a cold, windy day. Is anyone upset about that? I know I am, because I'm off that day and I was supposed to do something outside. But you know what? You better believe I'm going to look like a puff marshmallow going out there with my beanie, my gloves, and my thick winter coat. That's what you're going to need on Monday. Hence the first alert. We haven't really needed layers on layers like that for a little while. So definitely want to make you aware of that on Monday. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast here. Again, we have the first alert today for the showers. Honestly, we could probably bring that rain chance now down to about a 40% coverage. Most of the afternoon should stay dry, with the exception of maybe a spotty shower. And then as we head towards 8 o'clock, more thunderstorms will start to roll in. So if you need to get anything done today, temperatures are going to hover in the 60s for the most part as we head into the afternoon, maybe just a light layer, like a light jacket or something. And it's just going to be damp out there. So if you need to get Christmas shopping done, you're going to any kind of activities outdoors today, shouldn't be terrible. It's just going to look really dreary out there. And then more storms and rain roll in later this evening. Overnight rain likely along a cold front, severe weather possible, just an isolated threat, but it's not none. So between Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez and I, will get you covered through the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. Severe threat ends by sunrise tomorrow. So by 7 a.m., we'll just be dealing with rain. The wind will start to pick up. Temperatures drop through the day into the 40s. And then we wake up Monday windy and cold, highs only in the 40s on Monday. We'll kind of level out through a lot of the week. It'll be December-like with 30s in the morning, 50s in the afternoon. Our next rain chance could return on Friday. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Models aren't necessarily agreeing right now on that next weather system, but one is at least hinting that our next shot for rain could be Friday. So we'll just put a small rain chance there for now and keep an eye on it and kind of fine-tune it as we go through the week, but just want to make you aware that models are hinting we could have a rain chance on Friday. So that's the 20% for you. All right, everyone. Make sure that you are staying weather aware today. Really important, as we have the first alert for really the rain and storms that's on the way for later tonight, especially through the overnight hours. For the most part for today, the bulk of your day will be mainly dry, with the exception of just a few passing showers. Again, a lot of the rain is now east of the city. So if you live in Rockdale, Newton, Morgan County, Oconee County, Clark County, Habersham County, you're still dealing with the rain, but give it another hour or so and you should be mainly dry as well. And then we'll just watch for some light showers to roll through. But that cold front knocks on our door around midnight, and we'll pack a punch as it moves through and bring a chance for just an isolated severe storm or two through around 6, 7 a.m. And we'll be here to track that for you. We'll give you updates through the overnight hours on the First Alert weather app. So if you don't have that downloaded, be sure you download it. It is absolutely free. So go ahead and download it and turn your notifications on. That'd be a great tool to have just in case we do happen to have any severe weather, and so you can keep up to date on what's going on out your window as we head through the overnight hours. And we will track that for you again overnight and into tomorrow morning as we prepare for the cold that comes behind all of that. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. We always appreciate it, and I hope you make it a wonderful day. Stay dry, and we'll catch you here next time.